Hey, Scott here, coming at you again with an Ariens Snowthrower fix. The reason that we're going to dig into this today is because the unit stopped moving and just turns out that the belt slipped off the pulley. Don't know why. The belt was in good shape. I put it back on, but when I took the bottom off the Snowthrower, I found something that's not normal. So we're going to dig into it and find out what it is that I found and how I had to fix it. So here we are today looking at this Ariens Deluxe 28 Snowthrower. The owner said that it just stopped moving, so we flipped it upside down and found out that the belt had come off, the drive belt. But interesting thing enough, I did put it back on. When I opened up the bottom, I found some parts. I'm going to track down where these parts came from. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So when we open up the bottom of this Ariens Snowthrower, this is what I found laying in the bottom pan. We've got the heads of two broken bolts, and we've got this little hairpin thing. So we're gonna lift her back up and take a quick poke around and see if we can't find out where these pieces came from. Alright, so we've got the snowblower tipped up on its nose, and we're gonna get this panel off. I've already taken two bolts off from here and here, and the other bolts to take off are on the side here, and I could do that with a wrench, but what I'm going to do just to demonstrate, we're going to take these wheels off and show you how simple that is with this particular model. Alright, on this particular model, the only thing holding these wheels on is this clip, and if we grab this clip and just kind of slide it off like so, and there we go. And we can just slide the wheel off like this. Now I'll do that to the other side too. Just want to point out that there's a key here that goes on the axle, so don't lose that. Now I'll finish taking the rest of the bolts off to access the panel underneath. Now, the last time I took this apart, down here in the pan was where I found the parts. And now I've got a little more time to take a look at what's going on. Alright, so I found out where that one little hairpin came from. If you take a look at this rod right here, it runs all the way through. And then, see, there's actually a pin holding it on here. And then right down here is a little hairpin that goes through the rod, and on this side, really hard to see, but right by the tip of my finger there's a hole where that other hairpin came out of, so I'll get that one put back in there. Okay, so there we go, that pin is put back in there, so there's two of them where they belong. But here's the drive belt. And I don't know why it came off. But we'll keep digging, see if we can find any problems. Alright, so I just found out where these bolts came from, the heads of these bolts came from. If you take a look right here, this bearing for this rod, and look inside there, there's one, but there should be another one on the back side of this. And you can tell it's broken off, and it's hard to tell from here, but there's another one back here. I'm going to guess way down there is broken off as well. So in order to replace that, this has to come off. Fun. Alright, so I need to get over into here to get these bolts, because they're running from this side, and the only thing I can think of to get that access to that, I noticed this whole shaft here slides back and forth. The only thing that's blocking it right now is the chain. And this chain, there's a pin right here. So if I move this out of the way, I'm going to pull that pin. There we go. And that'll slide over. Okay, so this will slide. Oh, look at that. This whole thing comes out. Clean up that rust before we put it back. Hang on to that washer that just came off the end. Look at that. Now I've got full access to those bolts. Cool. Not as hard as I thought it would be. So we'll take this off and we'll slide this bearing out of there and see if we'll get new bolts in there. That 3/8 will work. All right. Another big machine bushing. And there it is. And you'll see where the bolts that were broken off. So now I'll have to get those out of there. Get some replacement ones like this. Alright. For once, an easy out actually worked. Alright, so now we got the busted bolts out of the bushing here from here. And until I can find out if I have replacements or if I have to make a trip to the hardware store, I'm going to actually take two of these out and put them in this side, because that side was easy to get to, so I can get it mostly assembled before I have to make a trip to the hardware store. Get a little grease on here. Oil. Let's wipe one from over here. Oh, look at that. That one broke off on me. Son of a gun. Thinking I might want to go to the hardware store and get these in grade 5 or grade 8. Get back and get this last one. Hopefully. Oh, wow. That one broke off too. Wow. Okay. Well, now I definitely need to go to the hardware store, or at least take a look at my collection of goodies and see if I have, well, 4 of these. 4 of them have broken off now out of 6. Alright, so fortunately, turns out that even though these have a 3/8 inch head, it's just a 1/4 thread, and 1/4 is something I keep around, and different lengths. It's a 7/16 head, but gets us out of a jam. Don't have to make a special trip to the hardware store. In fact, if these are so weak, I think what I'll do is I'm going to replace all 6 of them with new bolts like this. Alright, so I've got the 3 bolts here put back in place. Although drilling out the busted bolts on this side was way more difficult than on this side, but got all 6 bolts now replaced with new 1/4, and we're going to start putting the rest of this back into place. One thing too, when I pulled this shaft out, I noticed that there was this collar on here. It goes up in here, and that had slipped out and dropped down below, so glad I didn't lose that. So let's see if I can get this put it this way. Okay, now we've got this machine bushing. And now we've got this pin that we pulled out. That actually went a lot easier than I thought it would. There, we're back in shape. I like it. I think now we'll get the cover put back on, get the wheels put back on. This thing is ready to move some snow. So here we are. We've got the Ariens Deluxe 28 all put back together, just in time for the snow that's coming down right now. We'll get it back to to the owner so she can move some snow. Thanks for watching.